So they had the maps, but Bly was like kind of AFK, so we're almost ready to go. It's good news. Good news, everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just really proud.
He's so proud. Go check out Twitter.
My art.
Gonna pin it up on the refrigerator.
Printed out, full-size poster on my wall. People have motivational posters and shit? No. I have real stuff.
Cool. So the maps are Galactic, Dasan, Frost.
I love this. Can Bly fix the 1.5-hour delay? For sure, he says. It's a fast game's afoot. Hopefully Soul didn't let this through. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. For those who know, Soul's a pretty good... I think he's Polish, but he's Terran. And we see him come out for a lot of our cups. But Soul never really finishes top of those cups. So I do worry a little bit for Soul on this one. Because Bly has been rather aggressive and particularly cheesy lately.
Yes. Even more so than usual. Bly has had a bad day so far, though. He was playing in the Lefang Cup earlier and lost against apparently everyone.
Wasn't it the SGL thing?
Oh, you might be right. Yeah, it might have been the SGL thing.
Because I know he played versus like Neve and a couple
You're
others.
correct, yes. The SGL thing. You know what? Something earlier.
Yeah, there you go. Way to try and be specific and sound smart, you asshole.
Well, I was trying to actually quote someone in Twitch chat. They might have used the thing. I might have been wrong. Who knows? No one. No one knows. Unless you check the VOD, and then you can see the Twitch chat talking about it. Alright then, best of 3. Galactic process.
Someone said they would pay $20 to hear me fart through a walkie-talkie.
Why don't you just get a fart sound?
I was going to say, I have one of those fart guns.
There you go. Easy peasy money.
Alright.
You really gotta think things through, you know?
My bad?
They have to, not you. I think.
Oh, they
yeah.
have to. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Got
more
it.
specific. Anyway, Galactic process, game number 1 in the bottom left as the Red Terran. He is Soul.
And his opponent in the upper right, it's going to be the ever-scary blue Zerg player, Bly. Now on Team Expert, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, Team Expert, the best named organization in esports since
What did I
Dead
call
Pixels
it yesterday?
And D-Pix.
Team Expect or something?
Yeah.
Feel bad about that still, but Bly is unfortunately Bly to me, I've loved this guy to death, right? Never really been the super crazy WCS contender that people like Nurchio and others have been, but it is worth noting Bly on a, I will say semi-regular, because it's not often enough to be normal, but semi-regular basis beats every other pro. And not because he always proxy hatcheries or relies on this one gimmick build, but because he's really aggressive. He's very relentless, and more important than that, stubborn, and thus will occasionally win a game that he should have lost. So I don't know, like it's kind of always a scary thing coming up against Bly. He's not quite an enigma, he's not unknown and unpredictable, but he is certainly a very different breed of player.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like he might have been a little bit afraid of Soul's potential over 3 racks. Like, I actually don't know a lot about Soul. We had a while back, I think we were casting him fairly frequently, but really not, not nowhere near as close as Bly. And Bly knows that I guess any Terran can go for 3 racks, so for pool first. He's gonna be able to use the Lings now, though, to potentially get around the Reaper and kill the SCV, which is annoying but not devastating because it's not a speed follow-up. It seems to be what he's doing. He's really taking the quite long way around to do so. He really doesn't want the Reaper to scout him. But a lot of Terrans are keeping the Reapers at home for an extra 15-20 seconds. They don't lose so much on the scouting front because they're still going to be able to hit the base before speed's done. But they make sure this stuff doesn't kill their SCV. Since Reapers rarely get a drone kill, by the way, because that's like the only reason you want to get there as soon as possible. If you really get a drone kill, it's not really worth, it's definitely worth saving your SCV. That's what he does.
I think not only that, but it's just for your own peace of mind to an extent too. I don't know about you, but that pisses me off more than anything else. Like when you like have a building, you gotta like put an SCV back on, or if something's like 100 out of 100 finish. Like those are things that'll set me off way quicker than most other things in the game.
Yeah. The Soul's going for a standard follow-up build. The Reaper does get in here and scout. Nothing suspicious. You do have to scout Bly. I mean, there's some Zerg players, I suppose, you could even be like, oh, I'm just going to keep this Reaper back at home, or I'm literally going to suicide it for like an extra drone kill. You don't want to do that against Bly. You gotta get in there, see if he's getting a Roach Warren, see if he's getting a fast lair, because Bly not only does like aggressive maneuvers with, you know, early army, Roaches, Lings, Banelings, he also does aggressive maneuvers like early tech, Nidus Worm, Spire, you know, skipping upgrades for quite some time. This guy has some really tricky builds, old-fashioned builds, and of course new wonky ones as well. Thank you, Way of the Silent, for 15-month resub.
It was a joke. It was joke. Don't really be silent. Alright, so the Reaper gets taken care of. I liked how much time he bought on delaying that third, but obviously not gonna stop it outright. He doesn't have a wall up though. This is really concerning. And he might not have one by the time the Lings arrive. There's enough Marines to fight this on that ramp, but Bly almost is like, this is too good to be true. He backs away from the open wall, expecting there to be far worse waiting for him.
It's kind of interesting. What he scouted in the main base looks like a very different build than what Soul's actually going for, but the timings were all there to tell him what it actually was. Just the second barracks never scouted. So he should have, he was... there should have been Marines. He should not have gotten the SCV or the supply depot, and that's why he was scared. But our Roaches are going to be on the way here. Upgrades have started for them. The third base, not exactly super quick. You said the Reaper was delaying it. That was pretty nice. But I don't know. This feels all a little bit too late. Soul without 4 Marines feels bad. You guys are left behind. But going straight for that third base, and Bly... Okay, he's going to send his Lings back. He's making a couple more. Had this dropped right on the third base in the mineral line, I think it does a lot of damage. Instead, he does the more usual thing and drops to try and take care of queens and creep spread.
Well, rest in peace, Overlord. That's actually a supply block Bly. A little bit awkward to see, but he does have another. He has another Overlord on the way, but that actually still won't unsupply block him. Funny enough.
Ooh, yeah, oof. Well, at least he has the units he needs on the way. It's not like he's supply blocked from getting any army units whatsoever to deal with these drops. Let's see if Soul goes to the right with these or just pairs up with the other 2 medevac drops. It looks like he's going to pair them all up together. And maybe with combat shields, they can take on what Bly has on the ground. That's a little bit scary, especially because of that supply block. Bly just made 8 Overlords. Never again. But that does take a significant amount of minerals away from his bank. So even though he might have larva, no, not really. Even if he had larva, I wouldn't have been able to go into too much droning. Seems to be enough units though. They got the high ground, all the queens are together. Soul is not going to surprise Bly here. Could maybe kite a little bit. Actually, Bly letting his queens take the damage. Loses one. Lings are cleaned up. Combat shield is done. He could focus fire on the Roaches and probably still get away with a good number of units, but instead just picks up entirely. Behind this, Soul is going for a 2-base follow-up with tanks. It was important to keep as many units as possible alive. Thanks to Hamel Camel for the 3-month resub.
Whoop whoop.
Hey, happy anniversary, you two. I didn't get you anything except for the silly smile. What anniversary?
Oh, we're coming up on our 3-year sub anniversary at some point.
Oh,
maybe?
Okay, cool.
This is just trolling, and I don't know.
I have no idea. But that drop, it looked a little scary. Got a lot of damage on the hatchery, but ultimately they decided not to go to the main base, which was the better decision for sure. He needs to pair up with the rest of his army. Bly, I don't think has gotten much scouting beyond the first scout. Well, no, he has not.
No.
He knows about the lack of a third base, though, so that should tell him the timing is more like a tank push timing.
Okay, well, the ramp being opened up could actually serve both for and against Bly. Obviously, lets more units down, but also creates a point of contention where Soul can pressure. First Ravager shot's not going to be aimed at the tanks, so nothing really goes down just yet. Tank's going to be shuffled forward.
These tanks are very, very important to the attack, and they almost go down. Oh, geez.
One medevac does go down. Second one very, very, very low. He's in full retreat right now, and I think Soul could actually turn this around and fight if he'd like. He's getting really far off of the creep.
I'm a little surprised he didn't boost and drop the tanks quicker on top of the ledge to get a couple more shots, because the boost was off of cooldown, but he's lost a very good position. In fact, a position he needs to have, which is up against this ledge. If creep spread is respread, if Bly's given time to recover, he's going to be able to push this back, and Soul gave up a lot to do this. He gave up double engineering base, even though he will have 1-1. And he gave up a third command center, which is it's not even on location. That's surprising. What are these? Oh, actually, there's a good number of units in that drop right there. Some Widow Mines, too? No, Marauders. My bad. Tanks need to be a part of this push. If they're not, then it's only going to be creep cleanup. And that's not exactly what Soul needed to do. Bly, he went for the infestation pit as the attack happened. I guess he canceled it.
Oh.
He must have canceled it, because I don't think anything was going to kill it. Or maybe I'm just crazy and it never happened, but I could have sworn he went for it. Now he can go for it, I think, pretty safely. Like, he knows that this attack did not do what it wanted, and he's on his way to a fourth base. I think he could afford it. He's going to go for Tunneling Claws and Burrow instead, though. I think the Faster Hive would have been a better choice. Soul is still getting army. It's not like he's out of minerals quite yet and he's getting his third base. He'll get maxed out, and eventually max out bio is going to be better than Roach's.
This is interesting, though. So Tunneling Claws and Bly, and last time we saw him trying to do this, you forgot the Burrow part of it, so I'm glad to see him get Burrow this time. But this is actually something where he's used it for a long time, primarily to get under tanks, but in this weird scenario he's been locked in on, might just be able to pincer this army straight up with it. Oh, Medevac goes down to the Spore Crawler, nicely positioned with said Spore Crawler. Attack goes down over here. He's going to walk to his own Corrosive Biles, but to get on top of the tanks. And this is actually going to get a nice sniper too on these Medevacs. Again, Queen's getting there from the front lines. Some auto attack damage being mixed in as well. And this gets a little bit crazy the further he gets off of creep. But he is trading out easily. Kills another tank.
Yeah, accidentally running into the Corrosive Biles because in front of him. And this does get pushed back entirely. This is an army not easily replaced by Soul. As you can see, he's now down half the army supply. Bly looking like he's going to win this game with this push. Soul going to try and buy some time, but it's like it's actually a terrible time buying drop. So, 8 Marines would be better than what is that. He just walks on in, by the way. As Supply Depot is down. Thanks very much. Liberator not going to still hold for long. And this is just about it. This is a better drop. So it's turning into a bit of a base trade. Oh no. Oh dear. That's it. GG.
I found a new thing.
Face rig? Okay, hold on. I need to split the window and take the image off. Okay, there we go. Hello.
Hello.
See, it would be really great to have is that pin from Microsoft Word.
How can I help? You look like you're trying to save a document. Would you like to save this document?
Look like you're trying to save a document without actually being able to. How does it help you with that?
Hi there, you look like you're trying to save a document. Would you like some help? I love its eyebrows.
The eyebrows are funny. I like that animation on it.
And can I do a rock? The rock?
Yeah. Is Zargo still being coached by Polt? I have not been coached by Polt for 2 years.
But I watched a show one time that said you were.
Yeah, I watched a show that was released like 4 months ago that said you were.
Didn't it all get taken down off of YouTube too?
Yeah, they said they were re-uploading it or something. I don't know.
Well, first time we uploaded, the subscribers just must have missed it. That's why the viewership was so low. It's the only justification.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things to comment on with that, but I have not been for a while.
Hey, say something mean to me.
Fuck you. Oh, he went away. It's like he's hiding. Oh.
All right. If you have seizures, beware. These are super fast changing colors.
Why does your mouth make it like a You see, like, yeah. Why does it do that?
Guys, that's my teeth.
Oh, 'cause it looks like you're turning into a mean computer, an evil computer.
Ah, don't touch me.
We're in game now.
Yeah, but I'm still messing around my face.
Okay. Well, Das on
Oh.
station.
Why do people let this slip through the vetoes against people like Bly? Do they just-
Reasons.
Oh, just cancel the drone.
Oh shit!
Oh,
the top
it's got-
left, top left. It is the red Zerg Bly.
And soon to have a really freaking close neighbor at the bottom right. It's gonna be the blue Terran player Soul, who that cancels 100% of proxy hatch, and there we go, goes down right outside Soul space. Now, I want to point out Drogo and Bly played something I can't remember what it was, but I remember watching someone else. I think it was Wardy or someone was casting it, and Drogo held this. It's worth noting Bly's tactics, whether usually versus Protoss, it's spine crawlers versus Terran, it's usually roaches. But the point of this still is like they can be stopped, but damn if it isn't frustrating doing so. And I think a lot of the time, most of the players that are fighting Bly lose their cool, and that's why it ends up going so poorly.
So we've seen a bunch of Protoss hold against this, and we've seen Terran hold against this on different maps. So far, when it's used on Das on Station, I think we've only seen one person hold. And I can't remember how. I'm guessing they got the tanks and they actually saved the tanks. Because this beat Beyond, you know? Like, this is the way that Bly got that one game off in the best of 7 that they competed in. It beats Euthermal, I want to say, as well. Like, it's a hard build to hold against. And it really does rely a lot on being scouted, first and foremost. Which Soul has not yet done so.
He's still going spines versus Terran. I find this really interesting. The thing about spines that I'm not sold on is like you can actually repair the damage of a spine. The reason this works well for Protoss is like you can't repair your pylon. You can't repair your gateway.
The spines are very effective on this map in particular. They've actually heard a couple people say that it's just an automatic win with how powerful Spine Clone Rush is on here. And it really, as I said though, it comes a lot down to not being scouted. Like the paranoid Terran player puts an SCV down here, sees it automatically, gets like a bunker on the low ground, a bunker on the high ground, and continues, right? He's getting a bunker now because he saw the creep, but it still wasn't that quick. He did manage to see it, I guess, before the factory, or the command center was put down, so the fact that the factory comes down is actually great as well.
This wall of bunkers is so funny to look at. Like, it's not a bad thing.
It is funny, but he's actually reacting so much better than anyone else who sees this later. If he can get to a tank, this is manageable, but still not defended.
Right. I like this barracks being lifted over here. Unfortunately, despite everything popping out of this, I don't know if he has the damage to actually kill these spines. There's not enough SCVs pre-pulled. His other bunker actually blocks him out of repairing this correctly. He has to lower the depot. He knows it too, so he abandoned ship. Abandoned ship.
Yeah, it is a big problem, just not having a lot of damage output.
And the Lynx focus fire down the SCVs. This is actually going quite well for Bly now, as he breaks the wall with the spines.
I think what you need to do, I think you could have afforded a second barracks, first of all, so that's like a little bit more production. But also, you need to just keep leapfrogging bunkers back. It's actually about time buying than it is about trying to kill them, because you just don't have that many units.
So that is the more, and I'm going to use air quotes here, like macro way about going about it. I kind of feel like you could still just do what the old school, pull the SCVs, focus the hatchery down. I mean, it costs you a lot of money.
You have to scout it, though. That's the whole problem to start off with.
That's true, yeah, that's true. And you're not going to likely SCV. So this is going to abandon ship, go back towards the back base, but the creep queens will spread that creep about as fast as he can float his buildings over.
What's funny is that we saw Beyond buy a lot of time. He got a second base, and that was what started off kind of poorly. But he saw what was happening. He built extra barracks. He built bunkers. He built bunkers back to his natural. He almost held, and it was a problem of not having enough Marines. It's the same problem that Soul has right now.
This is cool though. I like the fallback, and you know the justification on this is he knows Bly doesn't have a lot, having done this. Like there's not 20 drones back at home, for example. But you're right, like there's no way to stop the links from getting on top of the tank. And these aren't even speed links.
Yeah, no medevacs pick this up.
GG.
GG.
GG. Bly will take the series and go on to fight against Showtime.
Yep, which we will be casting. I don't know who is going to be casting the losers match, which is Soul versus Lambo, but they should be happening at the same time. That's what we were told.
Yo, I actually think Soul versus Lambo would be a good match. But, yeah, if they are playing both at the same time, as they had initially said, then we'll definitely pick the Bly Showtime one. I think it's not just more emphasis on it being a winner's match and thus a qualifier match, essentially. I just want to see those two go punch each other in the face with StarCraft units.
Who doesn't? Well, we're going to get the lobby set up, so see you guys in a bit.